Welcome to Smell of Page. The Treasure Box, written by Sarojini Sinha. Chapter 15. The well-to-do and the able-bodied had already left the capital. Now old men, women, children started streaming out of the Kashmiri, Mori, Lahori and other gates, their meager belongings piled in handcarts. Govind had thought of a plan to take Chindamani safely out of the city. "Chindamani," he said, "you will leave the city disguised as a woman in parda." Chindamani burst out laughing. "I'm too tall and well-built to be mistaken for a woman, even if I were to use a burqa or cover my face with the border of a sari." Govind had to concede the point. He kept thinking and came out with a new plan. You could live by tonga or ekka, with curtains drawn all around it, as if it for a woman in parda. That sounds better, but how am I get a tonga or ekka? There is Selmabi's horse and tonga, Jagannath said, quite excited. "You are right," exclaimed Govind, but Bola had his doubts. "Most of these have already left the city, and we are unlikely to get a horse. The horse is old, and for years he hasn't drawn a tonga. Besides, will Selmabi agree to let her horse pull the tonga?" "Let's ask her," said Govind. Selmabi was outraged at the thought of making her poor old horse work. But when Govind explained about Chindamani, he said, "You shall have my help. Your father was very kind to me, and you boys have been good too. That apart, I would like to help those who work for our country's freedom." As they hitched the whole horse to the tonga, the animal was most surprised. It was almost 5 years since he had pulled a tonga, but he was well behaved and obedient, and did not mind doing what he was trained to do. Selmabi fished out of the old sheets her husband had used to drape the tonga when it had women passengers. "Here you are," she said. "Now take your friend, but be kind to my horse. He is old and can't pull too hard. You are coming with us, Selmabi. We won't leave you behind." Govind was firm. "I have no friends and relatives better. I have lived here all my life, and here I shall die. We are your friends, and we care for you. You must come with us, Selmabi." But she would not agree until Chindamani said, "You must sit in the tonga with me, Selmabi. In case the soldiers stop us and want to search the tonga for rebel, as they call us, you must speak from inside and say you don't want your face to be seen by strange men." Selmabi agreed to accompany them, saying, "If you really need me, I shall be happy to oblige." Chindamani had lived dangerously and was used to taking precautions. "Jagannath," he said, "you two should sit inside with Selmabi and me. I would prefer to walk with Govind Bhaiya and Bola." Jagannath protested. "You will have to sit with us," Chindamani insisted. "Then Govind can tell the soldiers that his wife's in the tonga. They will hesitate to look inside if a young woman's there." "But I'm not a young woman," Jagannath said indignantly. "But you are a young boy, and your voice hasn't broken yet. It's shrill like a woman's, and they'll take you to be a woman." After some persuasion, Jagannath agreed. Selmabi, Chindamani and Jagannath, wearing saris, got into the tonga, while Govind and Bola walked beside the house, coaxing it to pull it along. Soldiers, guns at the ready, stopped them near Lahori gate. Govind said humbly, "Please let us go, Huzur. My old mother and my wife are in the tonga." "How do I know you aren't hiding rebels inside?" a soldier said rudely, striding up to the carriage. He was about to draw the sheets aside when Govind had an inspiration. "My mother's very ill, Huzur," he whispered. "Please don't disturb her." "What's wrong with her?" the soldiers asked. His fingers clutching the sheet. I don't know Huzu, but she has high fever and there is a swelling in her armpit. My wife's with her, taking care of her. Raising his voice, he said, How are you feeling now, Ammaji? Selmabi was quick on the uptake. She groaned loudly and cried, I'm in great pain. I'm dying. What shall I do? Jagannath said in a shrill voice, Please be brave, Ammaji. We will look after you. Selmabi put out a thin, shaking hand and caught hold of the soldier's coat. Don't delay us, Huzu, she wailed. Don't delay us. I must reach the home before I die. Selmabi's hand was so shriveled and claw-like, and she groaned so realistically that the soldiers hastily drew back, convinced that she was dying of the plague. The one who had tried to draw the sheet let go of it as if a cobra had stung him and frantically waved the tonga on. Soon the party crossed the Yamuna by the bridge of boats. They stopped in a lonely place and Chindamani Jagannath got out of the vehicle. I must take leave of you. Thank you all for helping me, said a grateful Chindamani. Don't go, Chindamani, urged Govind. Come with us to Bulandshahr. You'll be safe in my uncle's house. Chindamani shook his head. All of you have done enough for me. Govind, you are a worthy son of your father, and he will be proud of you. Blushing with pride, Govind asked, Where are you going, Chindamani? Perhaps to Lucknow, perhaps to Agra, or even back to Jhansi. I haven't decided, but I'll go, where people are still fighting for freedom. They bade him an affectionate goodbye. That was the last they saw of him. They did not know whether he died fighting, or was caught and hanged as a rebel, or was living somewhere secretly, working for the country's freedom. The party set out for Bulandshahr on foot. Leaving the tonga behind, Govind led the old horse by the bridle. On the way to Bulandshahr, they passed looted villages and burning huts. When they reached Bulandshahr, they found no one at Ganga Prasad's house. Govind guessed they had fled to the village where Ganga Prasad's had a farm, so they made their way to the village a few kilometers away. Govind and Jagannath found their mother, brothers and sisters safe with Ganga Prasad's family. Rukmini embraced her son and wept for joy. They all lived quietly in the village for a couple of months. Selmabi stayed with them. When winter set in and the danger of plague was over, they made their way back to Delhi. Selmabi and her horse managed their journey well. They were both happy to be home again. They found the city sadly changed. Gone was the grandeur of the days of the Mughals. Gone was the glitter and importance of the imperial capital. But the city was slowly limping back to normal.